In this video, we're going to talk about WordPress user management. If we look on the left-hand menu and go to Users, All Users, we'll see an overview of all of the users registered on this WordPress website. As you can see from my screen, I am the only user. As you can see, it breaks down my username, name, email, role, and the number of posts that are associated with me. The reason it shows posts, not pages, is because it's more typical for a website to use this user system for post authors. So if you've got a blog with 10 writers, this screen obviously then gives you an overview to see how many articles each person has published. Look at screen options. There's not a lot of controls here. You can turn on and off a few elements, whether they're useful or not, and you can increase the number of users that are shown per screen. If we go over and hover on me, you can see we can edit or view. View allows us to see the author profile if they're turned on. As you can see, by default they are. So you can see my profile here and the 4 test posts. My name, my photo. If we go back to users and then we go to edit, you'll see a series of options that you can control on a user by user basis. So you can turn off the visual editor. That's the WYSIWYG visual tab when you're editing pages and posts, so that you force them to use the text mode only. You can turn syntax highlighting on or off for when people are editing code. You can enable keyboard shortcuts for comment moderation. This link shows you a series of those shortcuts. You can choose whether to have the toolbar on or off when viewing the website. That's this admin toolbar at the top. I definitely recommend having it on. If you don't want to see it, log out. Ideally, the best way to edit content is by browsing through the front end of your website, and then when you find a page or a post or a product or another post type that you want to edit, navigate up to the Edit tab. For example, Edit User here. If we scroll down, you'll see more details. So my username, which obviously can't be changed, as it says right here. You can put your first name, last name, nickname. So if I wanted to put David, then I could, on this next option, display name publicly, as I could switch admin to David. It's got my email address. Gives me an option to provide my website. And then some biographical information. After that, you can see a profile picture. This is automatically detected from Gravatar. So if you have a Gravatar account, which is free, and you connect your email address associated with this account and then upload an image, it will automatically pull the image in. This is useful because it then pulls that image in on lots of other websites when you leave comments. There are, however, Gravatar or Avatar plugins for WordPress that allow you to upload an image here instead, if that's easier. That can be easier if you have a WordPress website with lots of different users and you don't want to ask them all to register for a Gravatar account to do this, and you want to just ask them to send you a photo. Then you can just upload it here without having to worry about an external website. And then you can see we can generate a new password, and we can log out everywhere else if there are multiple people logged in with the same user account at the same time. So let's hit Update Profile. You can see that profile has been updated, and if we go back to my user profile and refresh, now it says David instead of admin, and hello, this is me afterwards. If we go back up to the dashboard for a second, it's worth also noting that on settings and general membership, anyone can register. If this is turned on, then anyone can create an account on your website, but by default they'll be given the user role subscriber. It's worth making sure that this is turned off and this is set to subscriber. Sometimes when your website's been infected or hacked, they will turn administrator on and anyone can register, which essentially means anybody can go to the WordPress registration URL on your website, create an account, and they're instantly given administrator level controls. Personally, I think this is a bit of a flaw in the system and shouldn't really be allowed, so it's worth checking and making sure it's set like so. If you want to create a new user, we'll head back over to users and go to add new. Here we can put in the username as John. We could put an email in as john@mycompany.com, John Smith. We could show his password. We could send user notification. This won't send them the password. It will request that they attempt to log in and then choose forgot their password so they can reset it themselves. And you can assign the user role. So if we create this user, now you can see there are two accounts, myself and John. Don't need to save that. And then if I go to edit John, from the actual edit screen like we saw before for my own, we can change all of these settings. Obviously we can't assign this profile picture yet, not without an additional plugin. We can generate a new password for him, so that allows us to reset the password from here. And we can also change his role from subscriber up to administrator if we wanted, or we could set him down to editor. So if you ever have someone that's assigned as an admin, you want them to maybe keep their account, but you don't want them to remain an admin permanently unmonitored, then you can just come and change that here. And then at the end, go to update user. And that's pretty much everything there really is to know about user management in WordPress. If you have WooCommerce installed and obviously are running an e-commerce store, then you'll also have customer data.